What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Married at First Sight edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. It's the one and only Teresa right there.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Did you just run out of batteries?
Kind of.
What happened? Someone plug her in.
Kind of. I'm tired, but excited. It's a whole thing.
I'm not tired. I'm well rested, and let me tell you why, Teresa.
Because you don't wake up at 5 a.m. like me?
That. But also, and call in if it's just us. And you will call in if it's just us, because we will be missing 25% of this episode. Did everyone's episode end after an hour and a half unexpectedly and just roll right into the after party?
I think it did. I was talking to our friend Nanette. Hello, Nanette.
Oh, shout out to Nanette.
And Nanette said that it ended at 9:30 for her too.
She did?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad we have confirmation, because I thought we watch it on the Lifetime app, but we watch it live. So we're watching it, I guess, on cable technically, but not. We're watching it through the app, but not on demand. So I was like, well, this must be the thing. It's not some weird edit. Because remember that one time we watched 90 Day on Discovery Plus?
Yeah.
And they put episodes from like a following episode.
Yeah.
So I was like, I hope that's not happening. I hope they didn't just leave a chunk out of this episode. But we got confirmation from Nanette.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think they would do it and put the after party right after.
Nah, you program all that stuff in early and then you just let it rip. And so I was hoping not. And then it leads to the question of, is this going to be an ongoing thing? Was it a one-time only thing?
Yeah.
It's very strange. And I didn't do any research. I should have given it a Google.
Maybe they decided, all right, 2 hours for all maths.
Which is nice.
Enough.
We ended up watching most of After Party, which we don't normally do because it gets so late for us over here on the East Coast. And we got to see Chris and whatever that was that he was wearing.
Someone dressed him up and he looked decent for the first time ever.
Here's why I didn't like it. And I kind of told it to you while we were watching. Yes, his outfit was more appropriate for 2023, but it's so not him that it was off-putting for me. I was like, oh, it was inauthentic. It wasn't Chris. It wasn't right for him. And so for me, it didn't work.
Well, yeah, but also anyone can step up their game.
I know, but as you said, he didn't. If he had stepped up his game, he would have chosen the Dumb and Dumber orange suit. Like I said, when he went suit shopping, he wouldn't have chosen this hipper blazer with ripped jeans.
Oh, no, I don't think he chose it, but they put it on him and maybe he's like, oh.
Eh. You know what I've heard about After Party?
What?
And maybe this is just for the guests.
Okay.
You bring an outfit.
Well, that's what we learned about 90 Day, about
Touché.
the tell-all.
Touche. You bring an outfit, you bring a few outfits, and then they say, well, no, we can't have everyone wearing key lime green. Why don't you wear pink, you wear green? So maybe that was in Chris's suitcase and
Or maybe he showed up with a bathing suit and they were like, all right, Chris, come to the side, come to the closet. We have some stuff for you.
Forgot about the bathing suit.
Because I don't think Dominique, that's her dress. Because she's more like a tomboy. She's always looked more sporty, more laid back.
We don't have anything to judge. We watched her at a wedding where she was wearing a wedding dress, and then we saw her
Well, we saw
fishing.
some of the previews.
True.
And I don't think that velvet corset dress in blue was her vibe. Like, I don't think that lies in her closet.
Fair enough.
So maybe some people bring stuff if you're a fashionista.
Oh, hello.
But I don't think everyone does.
All right. Fair enough. We have a lot to talk about. None of it will be after party related because that was all of our thoughts on the after party right there. But we have a lot of thoughts on the actual episode.
Well, I have a thought on the after party in general since we watched.
Please.
And I know most of you guys probably skipped this part over, so oops. But if you don't skip, let me know.
You mean of this podcast or of the after party?
Of this podcast.
You think people skip this
our
part?
rambling?
No. Once we get into the housekeeping, I think they press 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds multiple times.
Well, anyways, isn't it awkward that they have to shoot these after parties knowing what happened on decision day because this is in the future? So let's say, Dominic and McKinley, I was calling him Mackenzie this whole time. McKinley, they're not gonna work out, but yet she's like, oh my gosh, he's great. I love his mom. His family is amazing. Meanwhile, she's like, fucking son of a bitch. Like, and you can let us know what's going on, really.
Yeah, it's the one time where you kind of want these people to be good actors.
And they all usually are, from what I've seen.
Well, we don't know the truth. If we knew how it ended, we'd probably be able to see through a little bit more. But we don't know them that well, and we don't know how it ends. So we're just like, okay.
I know, but I'm saying, like, isn't it interesting? I know that once Lindsay said something about Mark the Shark on the after party that, like, she gave it away that they're not together.
Really? You think they would edit that out?
It was like it wasn't like a direct comment. It was just how she talked about him.
Yeah, but she talked shit about him while they were married on the...
True.
Come on.
Well, anyways. That's Lindsay. It's interesting.
It definitely is. All right. But before we get into too much more about the maps, let us talk a little bit about ourselves and where you should find us and where you should follow us. First and foremost, on the Instagram. At Married to Reality Pod. That is where I'm assuming our friend Nanette told you that her episode was 90 minutes as well.
Yes.
All right. So follow us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Chat with us like Nanette does. Like our posts. Like our memes. We keep you updated on all things related to the podcast right there on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Give it a follow if you're not following. Also, join us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Married to Reality. And here's why you got to do it. You have to do it. You honestly have to do it because I've never seen Teresa happier than when she is covering Darcy and Stacey season 4.
Love the sisters.
Love those MILFs. And speaking of MILFs, we did just cover MILF Manor as our Family Affair monthly bonus. You got the video of us talking about MILFs. You got the audio of us talking about MILFs. We do it once a month. We do a Family Affair bonus. And then we do some random stuff throughout the month for our friends. And well, we got some stuff coming up for our friends on Patreon. Should we reveal what we're going to cover on as a little extra? Maybe we should in case we don't.
Well, I think we will, but we don't have to share just yet. Guys.
Something's coming to Netflix.
Oh, now you're giving it away. Ugh.
Am I giving it away?
Ugh, classic Jonathan.
Love is Blind After the Author is coming to Netflix, and you bet your bottom dollar we're gonna try to cover it. So we may or may not. We may or may not cover it, Teresa.
That's a good one. We may or may not.
We may or may not, Teresa. I hope we do, but sometimes things happen and we cannot get to it. But I hope we do. But Love is Blind After the Author, we may or may not cover on the Patreon for all of our patrons, no matter what level you're at.
True. And in March, other things are coming your way, guys.
Ooh, don't talk about that.
No. But it's also our birthday month, so we may or may not get drunk on camera. I'm kidding. Probably may not. But we may celebrate and talk about our lives.
I like it. All right. So that's Patreon, patreon.com/Married to Reality. Join us at any level for extra fun. Whoa, all right. Good catch. Teresa almost knocked over her Celsius. She's got too much energy right now. Also, make sure you're following us right here, right now, wherever you're listening to this podcast. It's so easy to do. You just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as Jasmine's pajamas.
Whoa.
We
will talk about
for the first night, that was a hot PJs.
We will talk about that, Teresa.
All the girls were wearing the classic Target PJs, right?
Not a pageant queen.
Not a pageant queen. I was like,
queen.
wowza, too bad she's paired up with this asshole.
Hello.
I mean, Aries.
Hey, for asshole. And Eris. Okay. Last but not least, leave a review if you haven't left one. We will absolutely read the review if it's a 5-star review on the May 90-day podcast, the Monday night podcast. So drop us a review and get it read. Or don't read anything and just rate the podcast. That's fine too. We love that as well.
Spread the love.
Spread the love. Share the love. Tell a friend about this podcast. We love. And we love you guys. So thank you. All right, Teresa. Shall we do it? Shall we get into it? The reason we are here, Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 4, Nashville. Giddy up. Let's do it. Let's start with our friends Kirsten and Shaquille.
Isn't giddy up a Christmas word?
Giddy up, a Christmas word.
It's like giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Let's go. Let's look at the snow.
Riding in a one-horse open sleigh. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up.
What does it mean? Is it like riding a horse?
It means let's go. Yeah. I guess they're referencing the reindeer. The reindeer.
Oh, yeah, that's what I want to say. Like riding a reindeer.
You talking about Christmas songs alert. I'm like, what are those things? Rudolph the Rain?
We still have a Christmas tree because of you, so stop it.
That's very
stop
true.
it.
All right. Kirsten and Shaquille back at the hotel room after the reception. Here's what I'll say. Overall thought. I think Kirsten is warming up because she's definitely a little more touchy-feely. She's not going mouth to mouth yet, but she was going ass to knee. She was sitting on his lap.
Who called it? I called it because there is something about him. Maybe he's not your type, but he is smart. He has a decent job. Check, check. He's a good dresser.
He's got
check.
some confidence.
He's social. Check.
He's warm.
He literally has everything she asked for minus the hair.
He's got a bald head.
That's it.
That's it.
And so I think she's realizing it.
Yes, and good for her.
And I called it.
And good for her.
I called it. She's very pretty, by the way.
Yeah, beautiful. Here's what I realized about her.
What?
She kind of sounds like Michael Jackson when she talks.
She's very mellow.
In high pitch. She kind of sounds like MJ, and I'm not going to try to do the impersonation because, believe me, guys, I spend 10 to 15 minutes in the mirror working on the accent, working on the voice. Not good. So I'm not going to do it. I'll spare you guys that. But when you watch Kirsten or listen to her next time, think about MJ. And maybe it was because she was sitting on Shaq's lap as I imagine Michael sits on laps of, well, used to, rest in peace. Well, I don't want to get into it. But next time you listen, picture Michael. All right. So we were saying it's getting closer. They're getting more touchy-feely. Things are starting to heat up. Shaq is clearly vibing it too, and he asks for a kiss, right? And I think Kirsten was about to do it. Like, he said, oh, can I get a kiss? She leans in. She starts to lean in. But then I think maybe it didn't happen quick enough, or he got scared or something, and he goes, or do I have to wait? And that gave her an out, and she's like, yes, you have to wait.
I think he should stop asking and vibe it out. And when he feels like there is a moment, just do it.
I think you're absolutely right. At the risk of being canceled for non-consent, I think you're right. It's your wife.
Yeah.
You wait too long, you end up in the friend zone, as his friend said, as I say.
True. But as she said, she goes like, I just want us to get to know each other and build the attraction, build the connection, which I kind of can get behind because we know what he doesn't know. We know that she wasn't that attracted to him, but now she realized that, oh shit, well, he has it all.
He doesn't know that though.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he's asking, and now he might think like, okay, something's up. But we see the opposite way. We see it as, ooh, it didn't start too well, but now she's warming up.
Right.
So we can tell that, okay, there is something going on for her, but he might get spooked.
Here's the downside to going for it. If you go for it and she rejects you again, as she did at the altar, now you're in a bad place.
Oh, I forgot that he just went for it at the altar.
Yeah, now you're in a bad place, okay? 2 strikes, you're out. You're now going to question everything.
True.
I could settle with, all right, well, I just met her. This is the first time we're standing in front of her friends and her family. She probably doesn't want to go lip to lip. Okay, but when we're in private, maybe she'll be more open to it. But then if I go for it in private and she turns a cheek, now I'm like, she doesn't like me. I should never do that again. I should leave. Cancel this whole entire.
Yeah, I guess it's good he asked. But then she tells the cameras that she also doesn't want to kiss because it may lead to other things that she's not ready for. She wants them to get to know each other. And I get it. Like, she doesn't seem like a slut.
No.
So.
And we say that with love.
Absolutely with love. But I'm saying, like, some girls just might be like, ooh, say, okay, my husband, well, let's bang it out. But she's like, well, let me take my time, which is okay.
Whatever. You do what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Everyone.
But I can see them definitely, or her especially, warming up.
Oh my gosh. You get to the next morning and she's saying everything except kiss me. She's like, I think we're really vibing. We had so much fun at the wedding. We were dancing. It was great. Like, she's saying everything you'd want to hear except plant one right here. Plant one right here, big boy. She's not saying that. She's saying everything else. Then she started saying some things I didn't want to hear.
Oh, no. I did not want to hear that either.
It's like, let's talk about our nighttime routines. I know we both wear glasses and contacts. That's my nighttime routine when you start talking like that. So what do you do? Like, are you a shower, brush your teeth, then go to bed guy? Are you a brush your teeth, then shower, then go to bed guy? Like, these are the questions we need answers to, Kirsten. Absolutely.
Well, Shaquille is like John and I. Shower before bed, brush his teeth, does that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kirsten, not always.
Sometimes I brush my teeth at night. Sometimes I'm too busy watching movies with Macaulay Culkin and we just fall asleep.
That's so bad.
It's a Michael Jackson reference.
Oh. I didn't pick up on that. Oh. I thought she mentioned watching Home Alone instead of brushing her teeth.
No. But yeah, she doesn't always brush her teeth at night.
That's so bad.
I'll take that over not brushing in the morning. But yes, you should brush twice a day at least. At least. And I've recently, and when I say recently, I mean in the last year and a half, gotten heavily into flossing. Big flosser now.
Yeah, you have to
every
floss.
Single night.
You have to floss.
Love a good floss. And I think I've mentioned I didn't go to the dentist for a while because I was scared and I went.
Don't talk about that.
It surprisingly went well. But I think what saved me was I flossed.
Yeah.
So I think that saved me. So floss out there. Kirsten, at least floss.
Brush your teeth. It's gross. That's seriously gross. Here's my routine. I can be super drunk or tired, whatever. I always brush my teeth, always take my contacts out, always remove my makeup and shower. I sometimes don't even remember I showered, but I know I did.
Can I tell you, and this is an admission, sometimes if I am super drunk, and not even super drunk, if I'm super drunk, I'll brush and I'll dance and I'll have fun with it. If I'm getting to the point where I'm hungover, when you've drank too much, maybe you passed out on the couch, you wake up and you're like, but I'm going to shower anyways. Sometimes I don't brush my teeth, but I always will Listerine.
Don't tell me that.
If that's the case, I'll always give it the old.
Don't tell me that.
I'll give it the old Listerine.
I'm
talking twice a year. I'm talking twice a year that happens.
Okay.
At most, Teresa. All right, let's change the subject to something else Teresa doesn't want to hear about. The meeting of the parents and the families.
I hate that.
This is snooze fest.
Literally, my notes for Kirsten meeting his family.
Yeah.
Friend India and Uncle Derek.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I picked up on.
Well, I have two other lines here. Kirsten says, we're hitting it off. Okay, check. And then she's worried about Shaq's busy schedule.
But she's also busy. So here's the thing. I'm busy. You're busy. But we make time because we want to make time.
We're busy together most of the time. I mean, this podcast is really what makes us busy.
Yes. There are other things. But yes, this podcast does make us busy. But let's say I'll consider this podcast as work.
Oh,
it's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying even to hang out or to go to dinners or to do fun stuff, we find the time. You find the time.
I almost prefer that people are busy in relationships and then, at least early on, and then prove that you want to hang out with the person. Make it a choice. Not, well, I got nothing else to do, so why not? No, this is great. Shaq, you're busy. Kirsten, you're busy. You now have to choose to make time for that person, and that's going to show how much you actually want to be with this person.
True.
I think it's a nice little test.
True. I think especially if you're older. Like if you meet in your early 20s, well, I don't think you're that busy, and that's fine. Like when I met you, I was very busy. I was finishing college and I worked multiple jobs. So yeah, I was busy, but I found time for you.
You got to find
time. You were busy
time.
with the work, so you found time for me too.
You got to find time. You got to make time. And it's nice to have that person after a long, hard, busy day. Someone you can just, can we just sit on the couch, open a bottle of wine, and like put on The Office? Like that's so nice too. So I don't think being busy is a bad thing.
Oh no, I love being busy. I actually love it.
Yeah. They're talking about it. I'm just saying Shaq and Kirsten as if it's a bad thing. I don't think if you can make the time, then I think it's good. You won't get sick of each other.
No.
So look at the bright side.
Like having things to do gives me purpose.
Absolutely.
Like if I was just sitting around, I mean, yes, there are days that once in a while, Jen and I, we call it a pajamas day and we don't do shit.
It's usually raining out.
Yeah, we just like keep our PJs on and we just don't do anything. And I need it once in a while, absolutely. Sure. But could I do it for longer? The only time I'm like laying in bed and it hasn't happened, well, it happened during my wisdom teeth, but not really, when I'm really sick and I can move my body. Otherwise, I like just doing things. I love moving around and having purpose.
Yeah. What you have for Shaq's meeting with the cousin, Takina?
Shaquille meeting Takina, the cousin, Jasmine, the friend, and another friend. So I'm having here that I think her friends and cousins are almost, I was almost afraid they're gonna spoil it for him because they were so like Chris and Alyssa.
Oh yeah.
How the friend said something that rubbed her the wrong way. She was a moron. But
interesting. Yeah.
But these girls are saying, are you genuine? Like, well, you have to be in this like for the right reason. It's like, why would he be in it for any other reason? Like he's well educated, he has a good job. I don't think Shaquille is trying to become a social media influencer.
That's a fair point. I wasn't getting nervous at all, unlike you, because they were, if anything, they were making themselves look bad. They weren't making Kirsten look bad. And that's the difference, is Chris's friends said some things that
they were joking
in Alyssa's eyes made Chris look bad. And it was a work comment. It was like, right, he's so busy working.
Yeah.
It made apparently Chris look bad in Alyssa's eyes. No, these cousins, this group, they were just going hard at Shaq, wondering, why are you here? Are you committed? The interesting thing that I found was he admitted, he's like, yeah, I did seek out this process. I saw the ads. I saw the billboards. He's religious, right?
I think so.
I think he kind of made it seem like, it was fate, God's plan, because he said they just kept appearing. Like almost like it was meant to be. They kept appearing, so I went for it.
And here's the thing. I'm not religious. You're not religious. I don't really have a lot of beliefs in high power. Well, pretty much none, because I was telling you the story. I was trying to get a crystal. Nothing spoke to me. So I have like, I'm not spiritual whatsoever. But if the person believes in that and believes that that's what happened, you have to respect it. You cannot be like, oh, that's bullshit.
Sure. Well, I think one person's God is another person's greater force. Like you believe there's something greater out there.
No.
You've told me like you believe whether it's energy or Mother Nature, or like you believe there's things out of your control.
I believe I believe there are dead people living around us.
You believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
You took the long way around for that. So you don't believe like, oh, there's a force out there that's not necessarily controlling things, but created things.
It's called nature.
Nature.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's like, that's science.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
I believe in science. I believe in nature. I may believe in ghosts. I'm kind of like on a fence with that, but I do kind of like, I believe that. I don't believe in heaven or anything, but I just believe that that's the thing. You pass away, where do you go? I think you stick around.
I kind of did. And then I heard someone give the exact reason for believing in ghosts that I had. And when I heard someone else say it, I was like, actually, I don't buy it. When I hear you say it, I don't buy it. Because they said, well, think about it. People, we have all this energy. Where does it go when you die? And then when they said it, I thought about it. I was like, most people don't have that much energy. They're kind of just there.
True.
Like when they die, they didn't have much energy when they were living.
Not to be morbid, but I think religious people are more in peace when it comes to dying because they think they're going somewhere.
Sure. Well, they don't think, they believe.
They will reunite with others who passed away. Like for me, it's like, that's going to be it. And if anything, I'm going to be hanging around somewhere alone.
But and not to make this a religious segment, but we don't have anything else to talk about at this brunch. I think I would be more scared if I was convinced I was going somewhere because I'd be like, where am I going? I don't know. Like, what's going to happen? Who's going to be there? Am I going to be there forever? What am I going to do? Like, I think I'm almost more at peace because I think it's just going to end and I won't have anything to worry about.
Well, I was like reading an article about a guy who died for like 4 minutes and they brought him back like in the hospital.
Then he didn't die.
Well,
Death is final.
If you lose pulse and you stop breathing, that's it, right? If the line at the hospital was like, beep.
No, you flatline nuance.
So they brought him back.
Yeah.
And then he was saying that they were like, what did you see? Did you see a tunnel? Did you see like, the whole life flashing in front of you? He goes like, nothing. He's like, there is nothing.
I know, but if you asked me what happened when I went to sleep last night, I'd be like, I don't know, nothing. I didn't have any dreams last night. I don't remember anything. Nothing. So I don't know. Don't take that one guy's word for it.
Well, I do actually because that's what I believe.
I know, but don't take that guy's word for it. I don't know. I kind of wish that we knew for certain, but at the same time, it's more interesting that we don't. We'll find out or we won't when it happens.
Like sometimes I think about it when I drive.
No, don't think about it when you drive. Think about the road. Otherwise, you will find out.
Of course, but geez, knock it.
Yeah.
Of course, but it's like there is like we are not about the dying. I should have specified about us as people. It's like, who are we? What are we? Like what is this? Like what is this? Like we look certain way. It's like we find someone attractive or not, but why? What is their body? What is the texture? What are we even doing? Why are we existing? Who are we?
Here's what I find.
I literally sometimes get so deep. I get frustrated because I'm like, who am I?
Yeah. Here's speaking of
more so not who am I? What am I?
What I find interesting is good looking versus not, and just the slightest change is what could make you good looking or not. So you've told me who you find attractive, like very attractive actors.
Yeah.
Name one.
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters. I don't know who that is, but I guarantee you if I pulled up a photo, well, I don't even want to compare myself, but
different.
But you look at people and you go, huh, you're not attractive. And then you look at another person and you go, this person is so good looking. But they both have hair and two eyes and a nose and a mouth and generally the same sized head. And it's like, it's millimeters of difference. that make all the difference.
You know who he is? He played Jeffrey Dahmer in the Netflix show.
Well, thank you for bringing it back to maps because Jeffrey Dahmer has been mentioned. Serial killers have been mentioned multiple times. So let's bring it back. They're back at the room. There's a knock at the door, and we learn about the honeymoon destination.
Yay! It's gonna be
Jamaica. Not the Bahamas, Gina. We'll get to Gina. She's like, is this the Bahamas? I think she was, because she had predicted it was the Bahamas. I think she wanted her prediction to be
out
right.
of all the freaking flags in the world, the Jamaican flag, everyone knows that. Have you seen Coconuts on Ice?
Thank you for doing it, because I was going to say Cool Runnings, but as Teresa says,
Coconuts on Ice.
In Czech, the Czech translation of the name of the movie that we all affectionately know as Cool Runnings is Coconuts on Ice.
Why Cool Runnings? I don't get that name. Coconuts on Ice makes a lot of sense.
I think it's Cool Runnings. Is it Cool Runnings? The Coconuts on Ice doesn't make any sense because there's coconuts in Jamaica.
Exactly.
I would say like eggs on ice because there's a famous scene, right, where it's like he has the egg. He's like, oh, what a good. We should watch that movie.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
It's like
Coconuts on Ice.
Sanka, you dead, man? And he's like, yeah, man. Right? Or no, man. I forget.
I've never watched it in English, so I don't get your references.
Oh, we should watch it. Cool Runnings, yeah. 93.
We should watch Sister Act too.
A lot of movies we should watch that we're talking about on the podcast. Okay, but they are going to Jamaica, not the Bahamas. Bad news for Shaq and Kirsten.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
Can you please call him Shaquille? Because I'm very hungry, and when you say Shaq, I think of Shake Shack, and I cannot focus.
Oh, okay. Sure. Shaquille.
Plus, I don't like Shaq. It's like,
well,
I like Shaquille.
Okay. It's just easier to write in my notes, so I have Shaq.
I write Shaquille.
Oh, all right. Shaquille has to work. And that means they can't go to the honeymoon immediately. I thought it was going to be like they're skipping the honeymoon entirely.
Yeah, so he's going to be like, I'm actually out.
I know. But it's just like a day. They have to go to Jackson, Mississippi. Shout out to Bruno Mars.
And I almost feel like if I was Kirsten, I wouldn't be pissed. I would be like, all right, like he's important. Like it's what's the word? Is it imposing? No.
Impressive?
No. It's like he
important?
He something you.
Mm-hmm. Impresses?
No. I know that. Imposing?
Well, I mean, he's imposing on the honeymoon, but
like like he like grows on you.
I like this game. Grows on you. Are you sure it's
Maybe.
Are you saying I am, or it begins with M?
The sound. I would go by the sound.
Describe it one more time. People are yelling at home.
Imposing?
Nope, you've already said that one. It's definitely not that one. Try a different word. Use it in a sentence.
Like John really.
Just blank it and use it in a sentence. John's really.
Okay. It's like when I met John, he really me, but not impressed.
Oh.
I know impressed. I know this word too. It just doesn't. It's not coming to me.
Okay.
Impotent. No. It's imp something.
Okay, so the root word is definitely like impress. Imprinted, influenced. I don't know.
I think I'm thinking of a Czech word. It's said imponuje.
Sure.
It's like.
Sure. No, I know.
Like you take interest in them. Like they're like you're basically wowed by them.
That's so interesting that you just did that because, well, the struggle and pain that all of us feel when we can't come up with a word must happen to you twice as much because maybe sometimes you are thinking of a Czech word and you think you're thinking of an English word. That's insane, and that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, imponuje. That's a Czech word meaning like someone like I'm literally gonna Google it because I want to know the equivalent.
Yeah, while you Google, I'll just say, I don't think Kirsten was upset. I think she actually took it in stride. At least she took it way better than I think an Alyssa would take it, or a lot of Lindsay would take it. I think she took it pretty well. And it's a little bit of a, not a test because he had to go do it, but it's a good test that she's passing because she could have freaked out.
Yeah, I am okay. It's impress.
Oh, there you go.
But it's impress.
Right. It wasn't clicking because it wasn't the words, the syllables you were going for, the letters, the sounds.
Yeah.
So
it's very similar, like im.
Absolutely.
A lot of, it's a fancy Czech word. Like a lot of Czech words don't start like this.
Yeah.
So that's why I got confused. Anyways, I was going for impress apparently.
Okay. Well, that is Shaquille and Kirsten.
Yes.
We have reached the end of this segment. I think we talked about them for a total of 3 minutes. And then we talked about religion. We talked about Czech words. We talked about
what are we?
What are we? The difference between good looking and bad looking is really just millimeters. And yeah, and that brings us to Dominique and McKinley.
I fixed it. I literally had, I still have Mackenzie here. Anyways, McKinley.
It's McKinley, right?
Yeah, it's McKinley. I got confused.
All right.
Right. Chatting after the wedding. And someone, I don't know if it was them or whoever, someone said, oh yeah, we got to the hotel room at 4 a.m.
I know.
What do you do?
I know. You probably, well, here's again my question. Are all these weddings going on at the same time? Or is it like, all right, you guys are 6 to 10. You guys are going to be 10 to 4.
That was horrible. I would be like, nope.
I know. But yeah, some people also exaggerate. We love to exaggerate numbers. It could have been 1 a.m., which is sensical and logical. And maybe they were like, oh.
1 a.m.'s fine. 4 a.m. is ridiculous.
I know, but I was saying maybe they exaggerated.
Oh. Okay.
But they're talking back at the hotel room. They're sipping on a little champagne. Apparently, Mac, can I call him Mac or do I have to say McKinley? Because you're going to think mac and cheese and you're hungry.
Let's do McKinley. Let's do proper names.
So McKinley is apparently a sleep talker, which am I? Be honest.
You sometimes make some weird noises.
Noises I'm fine with.
You're like, What did you do last time I was like laughing at you? You said you were like driving a car.
Oh, I was like shifting.
You're like,
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, hello.
Slow
down.
Before I had you in my life, I wanted to set up my phone to record myself sleeping because I never knew what I did. And I was always curious because people, you snore, you talk, you don't do anything. I was like, well, why don't I just press record on the iPhone?
You throw punches.
I know. I twitch in my sleep a little bit. Yeah. I think I've gotten better.
Yeah.
I think it only happens when I cuddle you in one position. when you sleep on my arm, I think like maybe it goes to sleep or something and then I twitch. So I've avoided that position, especially when you were going through the recovery of your mouth.
I was
so scared.
I was so scared that you're going to punch me.
I know. So, don't say punch. I don't close fist hit you. I twitch and I backhand you. All right? You stay in line in your sleep. I don't want you dreaming about any other guys. So, okay.
Well, sometimes like in the middle of the night, you're like, cuddle.
I say cuddle?
Yeah. When you move around, you're like, cuddle.
Yeah. I don't want to get too much into her.
You're too cute. You're too cute.
So speaking of cuddling, they get into bed and we learn about Dominique's body pillow. And she brought it with her.
I didn't see it. I was trying to see.
I didn't see it, so I don't know if they were joking because she brings it up. And then McKinley's like, oh, are you like holding onto it now? And she's like, yes. But we didn't see it. It's almost like they go back to Ghosts.
Yeah.
When someone like freaks out and the other person's like, are you seeing it now? Because you can't see it. She's
yeah,
like,
I didn't see that. But no body pillow. Mackenzie is her body pillow.
No, she was apparently sleeping with it.
Really? Where was it?
I don't know. I thought
that body pillows are big.
They can be. But he said it was on her side. It was on the far side.
I thought that body pillows are for lonely women.
I know, but if you get used to it, I think it's also it is for lonely. I don't want to say lonely, but it's for some people that need to hold on to something that don't have anyone to hold on to. You don't have to be lonely to do that. You could be very content with your body pillow. But they start to make out. They sure do. Gets very, very passionate, but it seemed natural. Like it seemed like, okay, here's a boyfriend and girlfriend. Here's a husband and wife who are very comfortable with each other, and they get busy.
They both are attracted to each other.
Yes.
And they both are like, well, if whatever happens, happens. So kind of like, let's go with the flow.
That's good.
We know they're not going to bang, but they were cuddling.
Pastor Cal would be very pleased with the progression of this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be very excited that there's some lip to lip, tongue to tongue.
So morning time, no sexy time, just cuddling.
Yes.
And they're talking about cooking.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
What?
Catfish?
Yeah. I didn't think that was a real thing.
Oh, you had heard of it,
I
though.
thought it's a cuttlefish.
There's cuttlefish.
Yeah.
Which is what you call me at night. But no, there's catfish and fresh catch of the day. Apparently, Dominique has a whole freezer full of them. She catches them. She cleans them herself. And then,
I've cleaned a fish.
Actually cleaned a fish or like rinsed a fish?
No, I cut the head of a carp. I removed the intestines. Then I was like...
Say no more, Teresa.
And I was
you know
freaking
exactly
out my
what
mom with that little balloon they have inside that keep them floating.
Mm-hmm.
My mom freaked out. My mom cannot even look at it.
Yeah.
And then me and my dad always put the head in the water, running water, because he has the nerves and it keeps opening the mouth.
Yeah.
Looks like it's drinking the water. It's not.
I don't know why I'm surprised because we must have said this on the podcast before. If not, this should have been the secret when we divulged secrets on the MILF Manor bonus episode at the
Kind
Family
of.
Fair. Yeah.
We have no secrets.
We don't have secrets. But one of was it your cousin who told me or your friend who told me about your little carp secret?
Yeah, it was my freaking friend.
Your little carp secret over there. Teresa, you want to share with our friends what you're known for in the Czech Republic?
Well, we eat carp for Christmas, right? The body for dinner. And we make soup out of the heads for lunch.
All right.
On Christmas
Day. So
Day.
far, so standard.
So you cook the head, make the soup, and then we take the heads out and we eat the meat out of the head. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you eat the eye. It has a lot of protein.
You what, Teresa?
You eat the eye of the carp.
You eat the eye.
Yeah, it's a lot of protein.
Okay. And then?
Then you spill the pupil. Do you spill the pupil?
I don't know what that means.
You know what a pupil is?
I know what the pupil is.
Yeah, you spit it.
Oh, spit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gross. But what I was getting at is I was told that there was a competition one time who could eat the most eyeballs.
Oh, yeah. We had a bunch of hats.
And you won the eyeball eating competition.
Yeah, I also had to fight for it because we all like
you had to fight.
Yeah.
That's my eyeball. That's mine. That's my wife, folks.
It's good. It's protein.
Lean, mean, carp eyeball eating machine.
It's good.
Over there. Sure. Absolutely.
Good for you. You gotta, that's the thing. If you eat the whole fish, then you don't feel bad for killing it.
Mm-hmm. Can we move on?
No parts of the fish to waste.
Can we move on?
Sure.
This is how uncomfortable I am talking about this conversation, is that I want to move on to talk about the brunches, which I absolutely can't stand talking about.
Yes.
So McKinley meets with Dominique's. You got a little eyeball in your throat? What is that? A little carp eyeball stuck in your throat?
Oh, okay.
Oh, McKinley meets with Dominique's mom and family. Mom, I think is into McKinley because she's like, oh, how in the world did you get away? There are so many hungry women out there.
Yeah, they're very concerned about the race.
Yes. And I think I said it last time, I'm glad they're talking about it. Not glad that they have to. Not glad that it should be a conversation because it shouldn't be, but it obviously still is. And I'm glad that they're comfortable enough to have that conversation.
Yeah. It was sad when they were like, well, Dominique is used to this, but it might be new to deal with for McKinley. I'm like, to deal with what? I know what they're talking about, but I'm like, why does it have to be a conversation? Like, to deal with the fact that she's half black? Like, why would he have to deal with it?
Well,
I understand, but I'm saying, why would he have to? Like, it's just, there shouldn't be this conversation whatsoever. It should just be okay. It doesn't matter.
No, 100%. I think the question that they were getting at, which is the question we all had, let's be honest with ourselves, is Dominique the first black woman you've dated? And no, he said he's dated black women before.
Went on dates.
Yes, apparently they have not reciprocated the affection for him that he has had for them. He's been more successful with white and Hispanic women, he said. But yes, he's dated women of all shapes, sizes, colors, he said, and so it's nothing new for him.
Yeah.
And I think that was the question.
Yeah.
More
sure.
so than anything. Dominique is meeting with McKinley's family. Mother Linda, traditional Linda over here, giving a mean side eye the entire time.
She needs to remove the stick from her ass.
Just pull it right out of that traditional ass, Linda.
Also, why would you name your daughter Miley and you spelled it Mylee? Like what? Like regular Miley is boring?
Well, it's more possessive.
Like
this is
Miley.
Well, I could see traditional Linda being that way. This is Miley. And yes.
Miley. I'll tell you the story. I have to tell you this story off air.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Hello.
Sorry guys. Yeah. Sorry guys.
We're back. So yes. Okay. McKinley's sister and best friend. They're also there. And Dominique is like, you guys said Mac is shy. I have not seen that. And so that's a good sign. I think it means they're comfortable.
Yeah. And like sister's into that, the groomswoman's into that, and mommy's like, I think this whole thing is nuts. It's like, okay, Linda.
Traditional Linda. Sure. Linda's entire vibe, this entire brunch is like, who can even eat at a time like this? With strangers getting married? You have an appetite? Put that fork down. How could you eat?
Yeah, Linda's the worst. And she's like, what if he wants to move back to Michigan? What are you going to do? It's like, he just moved to Nashville. I don't think he's moving anytime soon. And if they're going to move, it's going to be down the road when they have a decent relationship, hopefully.
Right.
And they can decide. Like, why would you even bring it up? He just got there.
Linda's a pot stirrer.
I don't think he's planning on moving anytime soon.
If Linda removes the stick from her ass, it's going to be to stir the pot.
Oh, yeah.
Traditional Linda.
Classic Linda.
All right. I think we need to take a break right there. Let's pause for the cause. We'll go to a little bit of a commercial break, and then we'll come back with Jasmine and Eris. All right? We'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Teresa. How are things on that side of the table?
Did you turn the oven on?
Yeah, it's going to be too hot.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be real hot.
I know.
Oh.
It's going to be hot, hot, hot.
Ha! Oh, Michael Scott.
Michael Scott feeling hot, hot, hot.
Oh, Michael Scott.
It's after he came back from Sandals, Jamaica. Oh, Sandals, Jamaica.
Yeah, a little steel drum action. Yeah, and a single braid. Let's see if anyone goes full Michael Scott and gets a single braid.
Speaking of braids.
Yes.
Jasmine and Aries. And
nice
not to skip ahead, but Jasmine's going to get some vacation braids.
Absolutely. So, all right. First and foremost, they're back at the room. Things are good. They're feeling happy with each other. They're feeling happy with how things turned out. Aris still can't make eye contact, though.
He's such a sloth.
He's a little bit of a sloth.
He's trying to be cool, and he says offensive things, and he does not look at her. It's horrible.
I mean, don't forget, she's an 8 out of Beyonce, and so he's probably nervous around her.
I don't think he's that attracted to her.
Please. She's the best-looking guy he's ever seen. Best-looking girl this guy's ever seen.
Absolutely. I mean, she is so out of his league, but he's going to make a comment later that I'm like, are you serious?
Nah, he's playing it cool. He's trying to play it cool.
He's such an asshole. It's like, I cannot take him.
Okay, speaking of how good-looking she is, she comes out in Victoria's Secret's #1 bestseller. It's the evening wear round of the competition, I think. She's a 9 out of Beyonce now. She's a 9. She's almost Beyonce in that evening wear.
I just wish she picked a different dude for her. I really do. I just feel like from what she's saying, she's in this for real.
I think so.
I do think so too. I think Addis is in it because no one else wanted to stick around him besides, because he banged, as he says.
Right.
So I just feel bad for her. I think she deserves someone normal and not this sloth.
I think he's into her. I think he's trying to play it cool. Come on.
Too cool.
Too cool. Next morning, waking up, cuddling. It seems natural.
Yeah.
Breakfast is served, and he loses me again. This is the second most offensive thing to, what would you want her to do if it was up to you, Eris? Get on your knees. This is, speaking of swine, this guy's a pig.
What's a swine?
A pig, right? So breakfast is served, and he's like, I see you got some swine over there. And she's like, you mean this bacon? He doesn't eat meat, right?
Yeah. Doesn't he?
I don't know.
I don't know.
From what we know, that's what I'm gleaning from the reception dinner. But come on, man. I'm fine. You do you. Make your dietary choices. That's fine. But don't call out mine. I don't mean to rhyme. I can't stop myself this time.
Swine. What? I've never heard the word swine.
Oh, I feel like that's something. Now you're not going to stop saying swine.
I'm about to drop some knowledge. You ready?
Drop it.
I'm gonna guess how it's spelled. Svine.
Well, I know there's no such thing as V. There's no such thing as W's or V's in Czech.
They're both, but they both sound as V.
Yeah. So I think you're just confusing. Try again to spell it.
I'm spelling the Czech way.
Sure.
So in Czech, we have the word svině, which means pig. But we usually, when you say it's offensive to pee, if you call someone, you're such a svině, it means you're like you're an asshole.
Yeah, you're a pig.
No. If you call someone a pig, it means like you're dirty. But svině means like you're a sneaky son of a bitch.
Well, there's both sort of here in America. You could be a pig, like, oh, you're a pig. Dirty, messy, sloppy. But if a guy's a pig, it's like he just looks at women as objects, as meat.
My parents used to call me a pig when I was younger and I ate something and I dropped it on my shirt.
Yeah,
Classic.
exactly. But just to clarify, swine spelled S-W-I-N-E, not S-V.
Okay.
Well, but swine, the W sound.
Yeah,
not
swine.
S-W.
It's almost like swan.
But just enough, like, just be like, oh, so you got some bacon over there. Like the swine over there, I think, is said in disdain, and it's the same as if I were like, oh, I see you got some weeds over there. It's like, you got a salad over there? All right, cool.
Yeah, he's just an asshole.
Just an asshole.
Also, a breakfast side of a bacon for breakfast. I don't make bacon at home because
stinks up the whole house.
Yeah, stinks up the whole house. But a diner bacon on the side, give me
a little crispy bacon, not too crisp, but crisp enough.
I love it. Or like a bacon egg and cheese on a pumpernickel bagel. I
haven't had a bacon egg and cheese in too long.
We did in Tampa a few months back. You remember? Oh no, we did a cream cheese. We were hungover.
Yeah, I have not.
Also, it's easier to drive with a cream cheese.
Don't eat and drive. We've talked too much about car accidents this episode, I feel like. Don't eat and drive. Eyes on the road. 10 and 2. Here we go. Speaking of bacon, egg, and cheeses, brunch. I really have nothing.
Nothing. I mean,
I literally have nothing.
Addis is like, is Jasmine tidy? Is she? I'm like, what is that question? Like, he's like, is she messy? Does she clean up? I'm like, I get it. It's important, but that's not what you want to learn from her parents,
right?
Like, don't come on.
Yeah, Jasmine. At least we have Felina, who's still shooting daggers, right?
Well, Felina, I can tell the relation to Addis because the producers are like, so what do you think of Addis's new wife? And she just starts like laughing and doesn't stop.
I know.
It's so offensive.
I don't understand. Like, at this point,
I'm sorry to cut you off. I just need to get my thought out. She thinks that, oh, she's a pretty passionate girl, but that's all that's to her.
Sure. And that's fine, but keep it to yourself. At this point, or tell the camera, which you do. But again, be nice at the table. This is no longer a potential, to use Usman's words from 90 Day. This is now wife. So, okay, move on. Try to accept it. Be supportive. You tried to sabotage it saying I do. They said I do. Now either accept it, support it, or don't say anything at all.
Yeah, she just tries to like dig holes and like poke her because she's like, oh, did you live with someone? And we learned that she lived with her ex. They broke up 7 months ago. And she said, because cousin is like, oh, so fresh.
It is a little fresh.
It is fresh, but she's like, we've been broken up for a while. You told me the same thing about your ex, that it wasn't good for months.
That's a great point.
For a while. And I've never been in that position because I've never really had an ex like that. But you were saying that the relationship wasn't working for months. So that's basically what she says.
It's a great point.
And cousin is like, oh, well, you always know to say you passion girl. You have an answer for everything. We watch you on TV, you passion ladies. I'm like, are you... I'm like, she's jealous. That's jealousy.
That's jealousy. It seems, I would say it is, if Felina wasn't so anti this process even before we knew who Eris was marrying.
True.
So she could be jealous now, but she was going to be against whoever the wife was. But I love Jasmine's answer. Sure. Whether it's a pageant answer or not, the way she said, a breakup, that's the timestamp. Like you're time stamping, okay, the flat line, right? When to go back to that, when someone flatlines at the hospital, you go, okay, time of death. What is it? Write it down. The breakup is that time of death. That's that timestamp. But they could have been vegetables. They could have been unconscious, the relationship, so to speak,
okay,
for months or years, and you just decide to pull the plug at that time. Beautiful analogy.
Beautiful analogy. Yeah.
And Jasmine nailed it. And so yes, I think anyone would think, oh, 7 months, that's kind of fresh.
Yeah.
There's follow-up questions you can ask, and maybe not the time or the place, but I would have some follow-up questions. But yes, I think accept that answer, move on, try to be supportive, Felina, because this is now your cousin-in-law.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Okay.
All right. They're chatting after, classic, back in the hotel room. And Jasmine is sharing her interaction with cousin Felina.
Yeah.
And Eris is like, well, I hope they can make the relationship work.
I think Eris is like, forget about Felina. We have enough supporters. Eris knows Felina's a piece of work and says, we have everyone else on our side. We don't need her.
Yeah. But then he's like, well, I hope they can make it. I don't think that if Felina was still very against this and kept like going at her, I don't know if he
what are you talking about?
Oh?
What do you think? Do you think Eris is going to take Felina's side? He's
an asshole, so I don't know.
Stop it. He wouldn't have walked down the aisle. She was the one going, let's go. Door's right here. We don't need this. And he was like, no, I'm going to go through with it. He is not going to take her side over his wife's at this point.
Because his wife is pretty. But I'm telling you, like, if she wasn't...
He didn't know. No one knew what she would look like.
Now I know.
I'm saying Felina tried to get him to run away from the altar before he said I do, and he didn't. I don't think Felina's going to be able to sway him now.
All right.
Call in. Let us know. I think Theresa's way off on this one.
All right.
People are going to take your side just to go against me, but I stick by it. Let's move on. Gina and Clint. Okay?
Yeah.
We're back at the room. Everyone seems happy. Clint toasts to what tomorrow brings. A toast to what tomorrow brings if today went this well. All right? Nice.
Yeah. And they're saying like they're attracted to each other, and Clint is ready to bang it out, but maybe he should wait because what am I gonna tell the kids? That I banged your mom on the first night I met her?
You can't have kids if you don't bang, Clint. Hey! All right. First morning, no sex, right? Even though, as Clint says, I'm a guy in my sexual prime.
Oh, I'm gonna make a comment. Like, Gina's very pretty, right?
Very pretty.
But when I go to bed, yes, I sometimes look ridiculous. Not ridiculous, but I just wear my t-shirts and some pants or shorts. It's very, very chilled. But you know me, right? You know.
Me or our friends? Who knows you?
You. I'm a hot wife no matter what. Even
Sure.
if I have my Jurassic Park t-shirt on, right?
Sure.
But like Gina, that's her first night with Clint. Like she put her hair up in the pony and all that, so you don't mess up the hairstyle. Like let it go down. Like let's still like remove the makeup, cool, but still
Really?
look. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I appreciate it, but I'm
Like she was too comfortable.
I don't know.
Too comfortable.
I would say enough with the games. I'm married to you. Let's see what we're working with.
When we started dating, oh my gosh, I like brushed my hair before bed and all that. I was just like, I bought a new pajamas. Now it's like
dating. They're married.
yeah, but
No, they're married.
but still, like first night, like look at Jasmine. That's stepping up her game.
Well, yeah. I didn't think Gina looked bad. I didn't even have a note about
She
what
didn't
she
look
wore.
bad.
So I just
she
think
just
it
was like very comfortable.
and
And maybe it's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's a good. I think it's a good thing.
Well, morning, no sexy time, right? Instead, they're talking about morning routines. And of course, Gina's talking about work. She's a workaholic.
But Clint, he's up and at him too. He's up 5:30 to 6 in the morning, and he pops right out of bed. He says, "I have energy."
Good for him.
Immediately, yeah, not me over here. Gina's the same way,
Yes.
and
She's gonna do a sacrifice. She's gonna leave her work phone behind for a honeymoon.
now this is good.
Yeah.
This I agree you need to do.
Yes.
I think that we say, "Oh, work, it's good to be busy. It's good to be busy." Yes, I think it's different when you're a business owner because you're always working. If you own a business, there is no off time.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think for them, yeah, she does need to find time to step away. She does need to put her phone down. She does need to make that conscious effort to say, work is done. Time for husband. Because it's not just like someone who's busy at work and when they leave the office, fine, I know it's 10 p.m., but I'm finally home. It's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't stop when you own the business. So
Very
she
true.
needs to make that a priority. So, all right, then the brunches. What do we got here? Clint's with Gina's brother and sister-in-law.
Yes. And they're just like, how do you deal with conflicts? Because you're so cool.
Clint's like, yeah, conflict is natural. We just need to talk it out. I think he was winning them over. I think
Yeah.
brother and sister-in-law were happy with Clint. No red flags, really.
Yeah, like his biggest worry is that he hopes they'll make time for each other because they're very busy. But
Yeah,
again,
and as
if you
we
want
said-
to, you'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Gina with Clint's friends. And here's what I'll say about this. You look at Clint, doesn't look like that old of a guy. Just doesn't look that old. His friends are aging him. When you see his friends, you go, Clint might be older than we thought.
Yes, very true. But their minds not aged enough because
he's
one of them
hot?
is like, so you think he's hot?
You think he's hot?
And she's like, like I'm into the classic, like tall, dark, and handsome. I hate when people say that. What does it even mean?
Well, I mean, you know exactly what it means. But I don't buy it because her last boyfriend was blonde hair, red beard.
Yeah.
So don't give me that. You're not. You're not.
I also don't think I don't buy that. I can say that people have maybe a type kind of way, but I also think that you can find all kinds of people attractive or not. It's
Completely.
just because it comes. I mean, I got lucky because you're very handsome. At first, I saw your picture. Obviously, I had to swipe right on you, so I knew.
No. Yes. Right. Yes.
So I knew what you looked like. I mean, luckily it was you, right? But there is more to you that makes you even more attractive on top of you being very handsome.
Yeah, when people talk about their types, they're talking about physicality. But I think that is, when you say what your type is, I think you're putting out in the world what you want your type. Oh, I'm someone who likes blondes, or I'm someone who likes tall, dark, and handsome. But like, yeah, good music is good music. Good looking is good looking. Like, it doesn't matter what the genre is, I think. So
I mean, I guess on paper you would be my type.
Yeah, everyone has a type. I just think people vary from it more often than they say.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, if you were my height and blonde, I don't think I would be attracted to you.
I'd win you over.
Oh, maybe. But you have a very lovely personality.
I'd win you over. Can we move on?
Yes.
Nicole and Chris.
Okay.
First morning, breakfast in bed, and they have the food sharing conversation. They're both good food sharers. I'm not a good food sharer. I'm just not. I don't think I ever will be. I order what I want. You should order what you want. If you want what I want, order it.
But you learned that when I say you want to try, you ask me too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind, but I'm not going to offer first. You will never catch me being like, "This is delicious.
No,
you want to try?"
You do sometimes.
I can't remember the last time.
I grew on you. I grew on you.
I don't think no.
No.
Rubbed off on me, maybe? Rubbed off on me? Rubbed all over me. Yeah.
So, okay, this is where I draw the line. I don't like sharing my food like my mom does. My mom is ridiculous. My dad hates it.
Yeah, because she chews it up and spits it in your mouth like a bird.
Ew.
That's a mama bird reference.
Yeah, that's not my mom. But what my mom does with her best friend, they go to a restaurant, they each order food, they eat half, and they exchange.
Please.
And so when my dad orders something, my mom always just like tries to grab it, and my dad hates it to the point he moves the plate and curses.
That's what my parents do.
Yeah,
they always order like.
So I wouldn't do that. Like I don't want to.
Please.
And I love your mom, but your mom always wants to do it with me. But I don't want to do it because I don't like sharing like that.
Except tapas. We like to share tapas.
We love to share tapas.
I like to share things that are meant to be shared.
Exactly.
Appetizers, tapas, even dessert.
Yeah.
I'll share a dessert. If I'm getting a sandwich, no, I don't want to give you half. If I'm getting a chicken parm, no, I don't want to give you half.
No, but you always give me a bite or ask
give you a bite.
Yeah, that's my sharing. I don't want to get a burger and you're gonna have a half.
Order a burger.
Are you kidding me?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but sometimes like when I'm trying to be healthy and you get fries, I'm like, can I have a few?
Have a fry. That's easily shareable.
Yeah.
Easily shareable.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like who just my mom, I hate when she
Who's going halves on an entree? Who are you people?
And I hate when my mom sneaks food from other people's plates.
Oh, you know what my dad does?
She's like...
You know what my dad does? He'll be like, let me get a bite. I'm like, all right, I'll give you a bite. You're my dad. His bites, why are dad bites like the size of 5 human bites combined in one? You can't just be like, thanks. That was nice. He's like, he eats half the sandwich in one bite. What are we doing here, folks?
I can see that. Savage.
Unbelievable.
Such a savage.
So they start talking, and Nicole's like, do you run late? Sometimes I run late because, I don't know, I give myself like an hour for things that need an hour and a half. And then, look out, here comes Smooth Chris. He's like, well, it can't be your makeup that's taking so long because you're a natural beauty.
Okay, I know he told us 59 times that he's a nice guy, they come last, but dude, you're really gonna come last. Whatever that means. Because...
No, she loves it. She starts crying. She's like...
Yeah, she loves it for now.
She's on the verge of saying the L word. She's known this guy for 16 hours, and she's like, I'm not going to say I love him. If you're saying you're not going to say you love him, you already have the L word in your mouth. You're basically saying you love him.
We saw previews when they're on the honeymoon. She's like, do you love me?
Oh, who is this? Justin 2.0?
I know.
You love him already, or you think you do. I'm not going to say I love him, but then you just did.
Because she's never... And she's going to open up about it, which is kind of nice, but that she's opening up. But she never had a decent relationship. She actually had a very shitty relationship.
So shitty.
But here is the thing. I think she's bad at the relationships. And some people are very bad at the relationships because she's like, instead of thinking about the good things, she's thinking about what their first fight is gonna be. And I know she's kind of joking, but she's not. She's actually thinking about it. She's like, oh, it's gonna be this because you're punctual and I'm always late. It's like, all right, well, let it be. And if it gets to it, it gets to it. Don't think about that's gonna be your first fight. That's ridiculous.
Unless you can identify what the first fight's gonna be and then do something to change it so it's not the first fight.
No,
then
I think
it's
she's
okay.
gonna embrace it. She's like, well, you see, I told you.
She might. Let's talk about brunch because we have to contractually talk about brunch. Chris meets with his new in-laws and he's like, I'm straightforward. I don't play games, but tell me if you have concerns. And so here comes Nicole's dad, who's auditioning for some type of role in some type of movie or spinoff. He's like, well, let's be straight.
Let's be realistic.
Let's be real. When I heard about this, I didn't like it at all. My concern, well, when two people get together, they compromise, they make it work, but you're already married. So I don't know what's going to happen. You're nice, but most serial killers are.
He's like, are you ready to be a husband? And poor Chris is like, yeah, I think I'm.
You think? You already are. All right.
And then he's like, he's a nice guy. Serial killers are usually nice.
Jeffrey Dahmer's a nice guy. Classic. Nicole's meeting with Chris's mom, dad, brother, and oh boy, Chris's brother. I don't know what it like. I think Chris's brother thinks Chris is a real loser.
Yes.
Because he's like, I'm just really worried about Chris. Like, if this doesn't work out, this is really going to damage him. This is really going to hurt his like how soft do you think this guy is?
And then dad tops it with, if you see this not working out, just don't drag it out. Just tell him.
I think they really think like Chris is on the edge.
Instead of like, well, if you feel like it's not working out, try to work through it. Try to talk about it, or try to then fetish the issue. Dad is like, just don't drag it out.
I think if any of these relationships go south, it would have a less of an effect on me than one that I chose myself. Like if I had an arranged relationship and it went south, I'd be like, well, you guys picked a bad person for me. Like, it wouldn't affect me the way if I sought someone out and I fell in love with them and I proposed and then it went south, I'd be like, oh, that sucks.
Well, here's the thing. I think all his past relationships sucked. So now this is his chance to shine.
Sure. But again, if it goes south, it's not really that much your fault. I would just be like, I think you guys put me with someone who I'm not compatible with. This is on you.
Well, most of these people are on the show because it was going south with everyone else.
I understand that.
But, well, you ready to go on the honeymoon?
Let's go on the honeymoon.
Let's meet in the hotel lobby. Say hello to everyone.
All the couples minus Jasmine and Shaquille.
Yes.
They're headed to Jackson, Mississippi.
And here comes Aris being an ass. That's how you can tell that he's playing this persona because he's like ready for some hot time. And
no, he did not say that. He goes, I'm looking forward to some intimacy. They say Jamaican can get hot and steamy. Like, ready for some. Stop saying intimacy.
Is that really like his personality? Did he get married to get laid?
For some reason, because the only person I could compare it to is Justin. If you want to talk about putting on a persona of trying to be this ladies' man, I didn't buy it for 1 second with Justin.
No.
I buy it with Aris.
I don't.
I don't know that he's successful as ladies' man, but I believe that on camera, off camera for the last 20 years, this has been his persona.
We'll see.
For Justin, I feel like he was putting it on for the camera.
Watching him.
Oh, we all are.
All right.
On Lifetime, Wednesday nights at 8.
Arrived to Lucia, Jamaica.
Okay.
Not Sandals.
Not Sandals, Jamaica.
Disappointing. Oh. And
Sandals is very expensive.
It's very expensive.
Who would have thought? I thought they were paying you to go to Sandals. I thought Sandals was like the price of a cruise.
I thought Sandals is like the Red Rock Cafe in...
Nobody knows what that is.
What is it? Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh. I thought there's some Czech motel.
No,
it was like $19,000 for a week in Jamaica. It's like, all right.
Yeah, freaking Sandals. Dumbest name ever, but it's very expensive.
It's very popular. Okay, so everyone gets there, check into the rooms. Definitely nice. We've seen some less than nice honeymoon locales.
Yeah.
These rooms seem nice. Aris getting right in the bathtub. right into asshole mode, being like, Jasmine, feed me grapes. And
my gosh.
And he wasn't even joking. Like maybe he was trying to be funny, but he went with the bit and Jasmine fed him grapes. He's like, this I can eat. All the veggies, all the fruit.
I can't take him. I can't take him. I hope they don't work out.
All right. We'll see.
For her own sake.
For her own sake. Nicole and Chris. Okay. They're at their room in bed. And this gets so sad / so entertaining. And you guys can get mad at me all you want, but this is why I tune in. I tune in for stories like this.
Yeah. So Nicole, they're sharing, right? About your past relationship. And Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know if I picked up everything. But he went on a vacation with his ex who would not even touch him.
Not even touch him. Wouldn't bang him. Not even hold his hand. Why are you going on vacation with someone who won't hold your hand?
I tell you what, it was probably the second date.
Probably.
The first date, she was like, ugh, I don't like him, but let's see what he can do. And she told him that she's never been to the Bahamas, that she always wanted to go. And the second date, Chris is like, let's go to the Bahamas. She had a vacay for free. And that was it.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, Chris, but and there's only one way where I feel bad for you. If you guys were intimate, if things were going well, and then on the vacation she turned and was like, "No, I'm not into you anymore." Then it's like, okay, I guess relationships go south sometimes, and it sucks that it happened on vacation. But if she wasn't being affectionate towards you, wouldn't hold your hand, never gave you a goodnight kiss, and then you're like, hey, let's go on vacation, you're an idiot. Then that's on you. And I'm sorry to use the I word, but yeah. I would not do that because I have some self-respect.
Now that's a horrible story. And then Nicole shares, and her story is just sad.
Well, this one's just devastating. This one's actually very, very sad. And there's no way to even speak lightly of this.
There's one thing I share with her about this, because she says it's me being past tense. She's like, I have vacation anxiety for that reason. I used to have anxiety that in general, and maybe vacations too, because I've never really fully dated anyone. So I was always afraid that after a day or two being together 24/7, I'm gonna get sick and tired of that person because I'm not used to it.
Sure.
So the first time we went on away, it was Chicago. I had a major anxiety. I'm like, what if I wouldn't even have anything to talk to you about on the plane? What are we going to do?
Yeah, your real anxiety was, we're sharing a hotel room. Where am I going to poop? That was your anxiety, Tracy. You can tell our friends. You were worried, where am I going to poop?
Well, and I found a place, but
the hotel lobby.
But I did have a lot of anxiety about being with someone for 24/7 for 4 days.
Yeah.
Because to be very honest, the only people I was able to do that with were my parents or the au pair family. I've never been with a guy 24/7 before we went to Chicago. I'm not even joking. And I had an anxiety. I was like, what if we run out of things to talk? What am I gonna do that? Or I'm stuck with you in the hotel room. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, I mean
it was awesome. Everything was great.
That's why alcohol exists. But yeah, I could see it. I could see that. That makes sense. I didn't feel that way, I don't think.
Because you've done it before.
I'd done it before, and we had been together for months at that point. I think
3 months.
3 months, but still countless times. We have some sense of reality.
True.
And we can read the room. And we had been on multiple dates at a museum, at a bar, ice skating, and we knew like, okay, if we can have a conversation for 3 hours, there's really not a difference between 3 hours and 3 days. If you can have good conversation for 3 hours, you can probably do it for 3 days. It's the people who go on a date and can't talk about anything after 45 minutes that are like, oh, all right, well, you probably shouldn't have a second date.
True. And many times those people end up getting married.
Very true. It gets very sad when she starts talking about when I was young, someone told me I wasn't worthy of love, and they burned me with a cigarette and said, if you love me, you'll let me burn you with a cigarette. And I'm like, this is devastating. And I'm glad she recognizes that this is unhealthy behavior.
And Chris loves that she is opening up this early on. And he admires her strength, her courage, and her beauty.
Yes.
I have to say, when she talked to the cameras, it was either in the morning or before bed when she took the makeup off.
Yeah.
She was very pretty.
Yeah, very pretty. And I was going to say
she's
the same
like
thing.
one of the types probably less makeup is better.
Less is more for her. Yeah, less is more. I would definitely agree. Yeah. Natural beauty. Teresa, you heard him say it.
I need makeup.
Wasn't lying.
I'm very pale. My face, like I have very light face. I have light eyes. I have light eyebrows.
It all
So if
just
you look at
blends
me,
together.
it all blends. It's very true. It all blends together. I have blonde eyelashes. No, don't look at me right now. I have makeup on. But normally, like there is nothing really going on my face. Everything is so pale.
You need makeup because Nicole's a natural beauty. You're a natural baby. You look about 6 years old. So you need makeup to mature you.
That's very true.
All right, that's it. That's enough. We've said way too much. Is that enough?
Yeah, I think the oven's on fire.
I think the oven's on fire. So, guys, follow us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Chat with us. Share your thoughts. I think we asked a lot of people to call in this episode. So call in. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know if the show was an hour and a half. We need to know these things. At Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. Also, join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Married to Reality. So much good stuff happening over there. Primarily Darcy and Stacy. Those are our queens.
Woo!
We are covering them on the Patreon, on the Cousins Club level, on the Family Affair level. You get the video in addition to the audio. Also, may or not be covering Love is Blind after the altar.
May or may not.
May or may not. So join us. All levels will get that if we do. If we don't, nobody gets it.
May or may not.
May or may not. And thank you again for the reviews. Most importantly, follow the podcast right here, the one you're listening to right now, Spotify, TuneIn, Apple, Stitcher. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you follow the podcast. It's so easy to do. You look down, you smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as our oven.
That's probably so hot.
425.
Inside jokes. All right.
425.
425. Absolutely. All right. I've said it all. Definitely said it all. Teresa, you said it all. All right. Means we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.